Deltigar is in the DorkLair. Welcome to another DorkLair action figure review. Today I'm taking a look at the Mythic Legion's Deltigar the Destroyer. This figure was originally released in the All-Stars wave, so this is sort of a unique figure. I believe what the story is, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, that during Advent of Decay, a certain tier level, there was like an option for one person at this tier level to get their face made into a figure. And so this figure initially ended up coming out later in the All-Stars 2.0 wave. And the second head sculpt that comes with it is actually based on the person who made that pledge. So this is Delton, and he's one of our fellow collectors, and this is his tiny little head. And so it's really kind of neat to have yourself as a figure in such a popular line. It's really pretty cool. So we have Delton in hand now, and Deltigar the Destroyer is awesome. He's got that kind of Spartan gladiator thing going on for him. I love that helmet. It's one of my favorite things about this line. I only have a couple other figures with it, but it's a fantastic sculpt, and it's just really beautiful. And the colors they've applied to this one with these greens are fantastic. This is just an awesome release, and very excited to have it in hand, and let's get into this review. And a quick look at the packaging. Standard Mythic Legion's packaging. On the side here, you have Deltigar, and you have his little bio there. On the back, it's the usual stuff. There's a bio of Mythic Legions, or the story of Mythic Legions. And then on this side, you have the Legion itself. So that's the Army of Leodysseus that Deltigar is a member of. Great packaging. It does come like with a tray inside that I just leave out for the videos, but you can stick it back in there. The bottom slides out. Very collector-friendly packaging. And yeah, good stuff. Okay, so getting a look at the sculpt, paint, and details on Deltigar. He has this, like I said, he has this head that's based on this fan named Delton. But then on top of that, they have this removable sort of crown type piece that I think is great. It fits perfectly, looks awesome. Underneath mine, mine was a little tight, so I do have a little bit of indents sort of where his eyes are, but they're so even that, I don't know, it doesn't even really show up that much, but there's a little bit of that there. I kind of like him with it on anyway, so I'll likely leave that on there. But it's painted well, nicely detailed. His hair and his beard there's a little bit of shading in there, but it's a little flatter than it looks on the like the packaging. I kind of expected it to be a little more detailed, a little more kind of painted and a little more realistic looking in there, but otherwise the face looks really good, and it actually looks a lot like the guy. So that the guy Delton, it looks very much like him. I like how they've painted the body. Standard bare chested, bare at least one of the arms body, and that does have a little bit of shading in there, so it's not just like the color of the plastic or anything. It's a painted body. And then you have all the armor pieces with the green color going on here. Green and gold is a cool combo. It kind of reminds me of the Green Knight of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, although maybe a slightly different shade of green. But green with gold accents is a good look. And then he's got so his armored arm, and then his legs have sort of a black armor going on. And he's got some gold chainmail underneath. Kind of has an ornate feel to it. Pretty sweet stuff. This thing is great. I really love this color and this color scheme. And then, once you get into that Spartan head, it just totally transforms the figure. But I do love this head too. I'm kind of torn in terms of what I'm going to just generally have him with on my shelf, because I love the Spartan head, but I have two other figures with a Spartan head on my shelf. And then this is such a unique head sculpt that I may end up sticking with this one. This is really cool. And then taking a look at Deltigar with a few other figures. Let's start off with the two other Spartans. So first of all, we have Pixis, and then we have Romulus, who's one of my favorite figures in my collection, and it's one of the ones that's really hard to find now. But you can kind of see how he looks next to those guys. I know they're posed, but this isn't, they're other 1.0 body Mythic Legions. It's not really for size comparisons. They're the same size. But yeah, so there's Romulus and Pixis. And then next to a regular sort of 1.0 guy, here is Atlas, the Conqueror. And bringing in another line, we have a movie realization or a manga realization, Captain America. They all look pretty good together, in my opinion. And then a NECA Superman from San Diego Comic-Con 2019. And finally, taking a look at him next to that new Thor figure from the Marvel Legends 80th anniversary. For accessories, he comes with this Spartan helmet, painted really well. Beautiful helmet. The sculpt on these are amazing. I just love this helmet. I love this head sculpt. Makes me want to get a few more and maybe paint some and make some original ones too. But yeah, so there's that head sculpt. He comes with this hammer that's got like that same, it's almost like the reverse color pattern where instead of green with gold accents, it's gold with green accents. And this seems to be his signature weapon because in his bio it talks about his hammer. And then he comes with this shield. The shield's painted well. It's got like a metallic gold and then a flat black. And then you have these silver spots painted around as well. So it's a great looking shield and it's gold on the inside. And it comes with the handheld handle rather than the wrist clamp handle. And then he's got this sword. So kind of like a broad bladed sword. I think it's sort of reminiscent of like dwarven swords and things like that with a gold handle and a silver blade. Excellent piece. I think this just works really well when he's got these two pieces, maybe with the Spartan helmet, or he's just wielding his hammer. And then of course he comes with the usual supply of adapters and things for wings and whatnot. So those are the accessories. He's pretty well accessorized because when you add on the fact that he's got a shoulder pauldron and he's got the crown as well and the strap, it's quite a bit of stuff that he comes with. And finally, for articulation, I popped that pauldron off so that you can kind of see how things move around a little bit better. But for the head articulation, he can look up quite a bit and he can look down a little bit. Mostly just kind of straightforward, and he can cock his head side to side, but the looking up is good. Like there's not, because he's got nothing behind his head, this isn't a helmet or anything like that, he looks up really well, which is a nice option for getting some new and interesting poses with Mythic Legions, which can sometimes get a little stale when it comes to fun and different poses on the shelf. You know, there's so many figures and only so many poses that you can put them in because they all have the same articulation. And then so his shoulders will rotate up this far and then back down. Of course, you can swing it around like this. And then his elbow has a single joint here, and he can bend his elbow this far. So a little bit limited there. This one might go a little more because it's the bare arm. So he gets pretty close to 90 degrees there. You can swivel the gauntlet, and then you can swivel and hinge the wrist. There's just a ball joint at the waist, unlike the 2.0 figures that have that joint at the top, but he can crunch forward this far and back this far, and he can twist as much as you would want him to. And then his legs can come out into the splits. He's got a rotation up at the top of the thigh. He can kick forward this far, and then he can kick back quite a bit as well. You can rotate the knee, and then the knee will bend to about 90 degrees. And then really good ankle pivot, as with pretty much all the Mythic Legions figures. And he can point his foot down quite a bit and then point it back up also. So lots of good wide stances you can do with these guys. I'm super excited to have this figure. This is a great release. It's really neat to have like another fan's likeness on there. It's just such a fun idea and an interesting concept. And I just love the gladiator style. I love the Spartan helmet. Just so many cool things you can do with these figures. You can always be swapping parts in and out, put the pauldron on, give them different looks. Just an awesome figure. Beautiful colors. The green is amazing. And yeah, so thanks for watching my review. I highly recommend this figure if you can get your hands on one. I don't think this is one of the ones that's like expensive or anything like that. Like probably more than the original pre-order price, but it's not going to be like $100 figure or something. So this is a good option if you're looking for a 1.0 style figure, even though most of them are sold out, because I think you can get it probably for like $50. So yeah, so thanks for watching my review. Be sure to check out my other reviews. Follow me on Instagram at DorkLair. And until next time, may the force be with you.